people, welcome back to the channel. And today in this video we're gonna watch a Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris video. So what we will do is we'll watch two videos, one by CNN and one by Fox News, because as you know that CNN only supports the Democrats and Fox News supports the right-wing Republicans. So we're gonna watch two videos and analyze and compare and see who has a better chance and who for whom it will be better for America and the whole world if whichever of the two contestants comes to power. So let's just watch and let's dive deep and analyze the whole situation. Now let's watch CNN first, and we're gonna try to be as unbiased and as possible, because that's the way of this channel, and that's the way of I believe how it's important to look in the world, to look at world and look at things, to strive to be as close to the truth as possible. So let's dive deep into this thing.
I thought it was interesting because there were also people there. You could see, if you watched live online, there were also people in the quote-unquote audience, if you will. But what I took away right away from her, and
so as you can see, the title of this is a CNN video. Harris sits down with Charlemagne, the god, to court black male votes. So you saw the title. Now let's try and understand what they're talking about.
I am hearing from her, she's bullying the bully. And she is now taking this in a way that she's not playing defense, she's playing offense. And she's letting everyone know what she thinks of him. And she's coming across to me as a very strong leader. She's using his tactics against him. You were weak. What kind of man are you? Who would do that? You gave the Russian president COVID tests while Americans died. She started off right off the bat saying that. And to me, she was establishing her power. But the message, the bigger message, was to, I believe, and I'm not a black man, I'll pass that to Bakari at this moment, but she wanted to establish some sort of loyalty, perhaps trust, connect with these black men who feel like she doesn't connect. I also heard, and by
now, as you know, that because it's a liberals news network, for primarily biased towards the left wing and the liberals, they're gonna obviously bring in black issues, black people issues, and minority issues, which is obviously it's important. But just letting you know that that's what the liberal left-wing media does. Even though, so black people issues, minority issues, yes, absolutely, everybody should be heard. As per the U.S. Constitution and as per general human rights, people have the right to be heard, everybody, irrespective of whoever they are. But just letting you know, because here we're going to dive deep, right? And we're going to try to understand what's going on.
By the way, there's nothing wrong with this. This was the beauty of it. When they started to question, the black men started to ask her questions, they were skeptical. So are you sure you're not just using me? Are you sure you're not just saying this just to say this? And that's what they should be doing, to make her stand on what she has to say and believe in what she's saying.
There's no question that Charlemagne is a friendly interviewer, but the questions that were coming at her were not necessarily coming from that perspective. Do you think she crossed that hurdle adequately for the people who want to feel like they can trust her?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't couch it as a friendly interviewer. I mean, I think you have to look at the substance of the question.
He literally endorsed her, so I think that is described as a friendly interview.
Respectfully, it was substantive.
So before I start recording any video, the analysis of the video I do, I watch any content that I'm gonna judge or use my intelligence to understand, and to the best of my abilities, I watch the videos before I record, so that I have a preliminary knowledge, so that I'm not reacting to whatever I'm watching, so that I can pause at the right moments to discuss whatever we are seeing in front of us, to discuss and bring up whatever is important. So I just wanted to mention that. Let's keep going.
right? And I
Didn't
think
say it
that, and I think it's very substantive. I think that her answers were thoughtful. I thought that she got off talking points. Even Charlemagne at one point said, how do you feel about people who say that you stick to your talking points? And she said, that's what I call discipline.
So like I already told you, like I have two tabs open on my browser, and one is the CNN video, and the other is from Fox News. So for CNN, I have chosen a video where they're gonna obviously pat the back of their candidate, Kamala Harris in this case. And for Fox News, I've chosen one video where they're gonna pat the back of Donald Trump, who is their preferred candidate. Now we're gonna, as audience, what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch both the videos and we're gonna try to understand. It's like a jury. Imagine you're a member of a jury, and all you have to do is understand which side weighs more. So it's like, think of it in terms of legal terms. So like law, like just simple. You're a jury member. I'm a jury member. I'm gonna just watch, and I'm gonna let both sides try to convince me and try to sell me basically. And let's see which side sells me better. See, because the reality is nobody is trying to be good or bad here when it comes to politics or when it comes to positions of power and life in general. Everybody, no matter who they are, is trying to sell you something. Now your job is to understand which product you're buying, so that you buy something that you're I want you to make a conscious purchase, so that later on in life you don't regret whatever you bought. So it's better to buy something and know that this is what you're gonna get, and 5 years down the line you're gonna know that, yeah, fine, I wasn't like you don't want to be regretting your purchase decision 4 or 5 years later, and they're gonna like, man, I think I bought the wrong product before. And so yeah, just think of it, see, because it's just the truth. Whoever is trying to tell you otherwise is because everybody is trying to sell you something. Nobody is good in the world of the world we live in. See, do you think CNN is good? You might think Kamala Harris is good. You might think Donald Trump is. No one is good. Everybody is trying to become the president, the next president of the United States. That's what they're trying to become. And it's your individual, your job is to decide what's good for you and your family. Honestly, nobody, don't even bother convincing yourself of other stuff. You might think I'm an American, like I'm an Indian, so I think like I should think like I'm an Indian who's gonna be good for me. Prime Minister Narendra Modi or Prime Minister Rahul Gandhi. I have to understand who is going to be good for me as a person, not as an Indian or an American. Everyone is selfish, and everybody is trying to sell you something. So like I said, just focus on your purchase decision and buy whatever is best for you. So yeah, let's watch it.
And you just kind of go through that. It was a clear contrast. But even more importantly, when we talk about her going to Charlemagne and speaking directly to vote, you very rarely hear the fact that most of the interviews that Donald Trump does are on Fox News or on Harvey Levin or on people who adore him, Aiden Ross, like people who look up to him. Aiden Ross actually showed up in like a Trump-wrapped whatever the ostentatious truck is that Elon Musk made.
It's called a Cybertruck.
Yeah, whatever that is. That's called I have babies.
So I wanted to point this one thing that I observed. Look how this is my observation. I could be wrong. I just felt that they're extremely unprofessional here. This man was just he was trying to make his point, and he had forgotten at the moment he had forgotten what the name of the Cybertruck is, and just observe how everybody laughs at that incident. Who cares? I mean, it's normal. I mean, does it prove anything, or does it make any sense that they would laugh because he forgot the name of a truck from a company? I thought it was kind of childish and really unprofessional. So I just observed that, and just letting you know here. Just observe it one more time here. Here you go.
Whatever the ostentatious truck is that Elon Musk made.
It's called a
Cybertruck.
Yeah, whatever that is. That's called I have babies. I can't afford it. Whatever it is. But so yeah, I mean,
It's kind of like, yeah.
sometimes people go and they play home games, but the questions we received tonight were not necessarily friendly questions. They were from people, as you said, who were adiaphoros, which SAT word means fence sitter. I've been studying my SAT words for this show tonight.
Good for you.
People who have their head in the sand. And black men have been cautiously optimistic about what Kamala Harris may mean. And today I thought, and also there are a lot of people pissed off in mainstream media because this was the best interview I thought that she's done. I thought it was the best interview.
Don't project that on us. Nobody's pissed off, okay? It was an interesting interview. Let's play more from Kamala Harris.
Again, a lot of this kind of language, don't project that on us. Please don't project that. Respect my gender choice. I identify as this, I identify as that, projection, this, that. It's a lot of complexities in the language. And I think that it essentially deviates from what's important. So
Let's play some more from Kamala Harris.
She's tired of your mess.
We are at 10:05.
She's like, I'm over
Okay,
you.
Bakari. All right. I want to play this bite because this is one of the questions we were talking about. This comes from a pastor who basically says to her, this is what Donald Trump is saying about you in the churches.
You've been criticized by him and others for your lack of engagement to the black church.
They are trying to scare people away because they know they otherwise have nothing to run on. Ask Donald Trump what his plan is for Black America. Ask him. I'll tell you what it is. Look at Project 2025. He's selling $60 Bibles or tennis shoes and trying to play people as though that makes him more understanding of the black community. Come on.
So what is Donald Trump's plan for Black America, Ryan?
Well, he hasn't endorsed another platinum plan like he did last time, but he certainly has spoken of black voters a number of times, and his support with black voters is at the largest of any Republican since Richard Nixon in 1960. I think that it's not so much Trump's campaign this time has not been so much racialized, where he speaks only to black voters and only to Hispanic voters, whatever. He's speaking to the youth demographic a lot. Bakari said he only does Fox, but he's on every podcast.
And I mean, is it, why should the next president or the next leader of a country choose to be specific of a particular race or a religious group? Shouldn't the next leader of America or any country care about the citizens or the people of that country, regardless of their genders or race or whatever?
Known to man at this point. Every bro podcast, every comedy podcast. He was on with Schultz a couple days ago. It was a huge audience. So he does speak to young men, period. It's not so.
Before I started watching this video, I didn't think of this woman, for example, as a black woman. But the moment I understood that this video is going to be about black people, what do you think I'm now looking at her as? A black woman, even though I don't care what she is. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she's a woman and a human. I mean, when I was younger, I didn't even used to look at women and think of them as women. I used to think of them as like humans. Like, I didn't used to think of their genders. But in today's world, I'm constantly reminded and being brainwashed by these different groups. So automatically, because I'm a part of society, I'm living with everybody in this society, I'm now like, it's like I've been brainwashed by society, like I'm sure all of you guys too. And now I'm looking at, whenever I look at people, the first thing that comes to my mind is she's a man or woman, black or white, Muslim or Christian, Hindu or Muslim. these different bifurcations and group mentality, group thinking, dividing people into different groups. Then there's another group, countries, Indian or American, German, and amidst all these chaos, I forget the fact that, oh, they're just another human. That's the world we live in.
So racialized, which I think is very, very important, because younger black voters, if you look at polls, are not as connected to the black church. They are not connected to institutionalized things within black America as older black voters are, which is, I think, part of the generational divide.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, Trump is doing it a different way. Do you think it's working?
Well, look, I think he does talk about stuff in a racialized way.
In a different
way.
Vein, but yeah.
Where do we begin, quite honestly, whether it's derogatory names towards countries like Haiti and in West Africa, or when he was asked about the Black American Plan when he was in a black church in Detroit a couple of months ago, he immediately started talking about violence and crime. He doesn't have a plan for Black America. He is, as the vice president says, pandering to Black Americans when he talks about a gold shoe or
a Bible.
But he's not selling it to black audiences, his gold shoes or his Bibles. That's to his fans that are buying
or his
that.
Shirt, T-shirts, as he says when he was in the Black.
I mean, he literally said
that
black people like me because I have a mugshot.
Yeah, so that's not a plan. Okay. That's not even a concept of a plan. That's disrespectful. That's like disrespectful. That's what I mean. It's not a plan. It's not a concept of a plan.
He did have a platinum plan, though. He did do things while he was president to Black Americans.
I mean, that's the main point.
And in favor of them. That's, I mean, they are.
Okay,
You're acting
so that's
as if
his plan, the platinum plan.
No. I think
well, he did that already.
I think the main point is that people have lived under his economy, and what is he going to do for Black America, for Latino America? We've seen it. Prices were lower, housing was affordable, inflation was low, people were safe, the border was sealed. I can go on and on and on. And all of a sudden, you're asked the question, what does he have now? People have watched what he's done, and now they're looking at Joe Biden and.
Economy is the biggest challenge for the Democrats this time. Economy, not just American economy, but I mean, because of this is all the aftermath of COVID. The entire world economy is at a crisis. It's in a bad shape. Everybody is in not doing so good. I mean, India and other Asian countries are doing better, like compared to other countries, compared to Europe and North America and South America, I think. Yeah, but economy is going to be the biggest challenge for Democrats this time.
Kamala's economy, and they're saying, we can't survive on this. Our check doesn't go far enough, Abby. Times are tough, the border's open. People, whether you're Latino or you're a Black American.
Economy, and the other thing that's gonna divide people for this elections is the fact that Kamala Harris is a woman and Donald Trump is your traditional man from the 60s, that kind of a man, the old America, MAGA, make America great again, that kind of a man. So obviously a lot of women don't feel comfortable voting for Donald Trump, which is understandable, of course. Like if I was a woman, I would think whether I want to vote for Donald Trump, but because I'm a man, I will automatically be more inclined to voting for Donald Trump, because in today's world, post modern feminist world, where feminism is too edgy now, like where feminism is about like if you're a feminist, you have to hate men. In this era of feminism, it's very difficult as a man to it's not difficult to support women, but how should I put this? Like it's very divided again. It's very divided and very divisive kind of times. So as a man, even though I don't care too much about my gender, but still, I would be more inclined towards voting for a male president or prime minister versus a female, simply for the fact because of the fact that I am a biological male. And I understand, of course, if, like I said, if I was a woman, I would be doing the opposite. Because, like I said, everybody is for themselves. And especially in today's world, it's so individualistic. People, it's me first, you later. It's that kind of a world we live in. So, so economy is a big challenge for the Democrats. And I'm not very confident like the Democrats as far as economy goes, because I don't think smoking weed solves your economic problems or solves your money problems. It solves a lot of other problems. It makes you spiritually satisfied. It makes you a good person, makes you more loving and caring, but you're gonna be broke. That's why spiritual people, hippies, a lot of them are just broke and homeless. It's just a fact. I mean, if you want to get your finances corrected, if you want to become financially stronger, then you got to be a selfish person. It's just how it is. And you're gonna drink a lot of coffee, and you're gonna think about money, and you just cannot be a hippie. I mean, have you ever seen a rich hippie? No. I mean, which is good, because being a weed smoking hippie is about sharing love and connection and bonding with people. It's about sharing, and it's about you before me, right? Which is good, but everybody's not like that. Most people are not like that. Most people are selfish. So yeah, economy and the male versus female. This is gonna be the two factors based on which people will be voting this time.
You want a sealed border too. You want to be safe at home. So they've seen that all along. So I think this notion that what's his plan, they've seen his plan and they know it's going to get better.
Now this is the video from Fox News. Now let's watch this.
All right, let's talk about this. Harris Faulkner sat down with former President Donald Trump for a town hall in Georgia, focusing on women's issues.
So this video is about Donald Trump, and he had a session with women discussing women's issues. Trump, we are going back to normalcy. That's the title of the video. Let's watch this.
Facing the question of abortion, women are entitled to do what they want to and need to do with their bodies. Why is the government involved in women's basic rights?
This is a good question. This is a big challenge for the Republicans this time. I don't understand why Republicans had to push this agenda of abortion. I just don't understand why they had to do it. Maybe because that's why I'm sitting here recording this video instead of sitting there in these people, the position that these people are in, because maybe they're saying things. They make their agendas based on the data, right? So sure, I hope they have substantial data to prove that will help them win. But I just don't understand why people care about this kind of abortion issues. I mean, if somebody wants to get an abortion, let them have an abortion. I mean, again, that's my opinion. Why should the president of whatever country decide if a person is what about freedom? I mean, this person talks about freedom of speech, and Elon Musk talks about freedom of speech, right? But what about freedom of speech and this and that? But then suddenly, if you're a woman and you got pregnant and you want to get an abortion, then you just can. Again, this makes it so much more difficult for women to vote for Republicans this time. I just don't get it. I mean, what's the big thing about this whole situation? I just don't get it. I think this is the biggest challenge the Republicans will face when it comes to getting the vote from women, especially, and not just women. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman in this situation. I mean, if you are a married person, or if you're a family man, if you have a girlfriend, then there's a high chance that you're gonna probably vote against this particular issue. It's a deal breaker, because if we talk about the whole sales pitch thing, it's not good. It's not a good sales pitch, right? I mean, I just don't get it, why they're doing this.
Every legal scholar, the great ones, every lawyer, but the Democrats, the Republicans, the liberals, the conservatives, they wanted it brought out of the federal government and brought back to the states for a vote of the people through really the courage of 6
entitled to do what they want to and need to do with their bodies. Why is the government involved in women's basic rights?
That's a good on your face question, direct question. No, this, that, here, there. Why is the government gonna decide what a woman gets to do or not? Very direct and very good question. Well, let's see the response from our candidate.
Every legal scholar, the great ones, every lawyer, but the Democrats, the Republicans, the liberals, the conservatives, they wanted it brought out of the federal government and brought back to the states for a vote of the people through really the courage of 6 Supreme Court justices. We were able to do this.
Harris Faulkner joins us now with a preview of the town hall airing on the Faulkner Focus later this morning. Hey, Harris, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Ainsley. Thank you very much. And
You're
it's so
welcome.
wonderful to be able to preview with you. You and I both know these issues so well because we cover them every day. And so
Yes.
what I'm excited for people to see is for the whole thing unedited. Because when that woman says women have a right to make their choices for their own bodies, I want you to hear exactly what he says immediately following. When he talks about where we are as a country, and he corrects himself. He said, I don't want to say that things are destroyed. I want to say that they're being destroyed and that we have hope and that we can bring things back. I mean, he is looking forward. He is hopeful. Those are things that we really haven't heard him express as much because, you know,
But it was not a very convincing answer when it comes to the question. The question was very good and direct. Why should the government be involved in a woman's business? Why, if a woman wants to get an abortion, who is the government? Why does a person, a woman or whatever, has to think about government when it comes to her body? It's really a simple question, but I am not very convinced. I just don't get it. I just don't get the whole abortion issue.
it's the talking points with both the candidates and their
Like, abortion is a right. It's a basic human right, dude. Like, I just don't get the whole
attacking themselves, you know, each other and so on and so forth. But last night was wonderful. It was all women in that audience, every walk of life. And women's issues are everybody's issues. So we hit a lot. Their questions were great, by the way.
I thought it was so smart of him to sit down with women. And I'm so anxious to see this. I'll be watching today at 11. Women are concerned about so many things. We're the ones who do the grocery shopping most of the time. So putting food on our table, the cost of all the
No, you do realize, right, why Fox News is doing this whole video and this whole event that they did with an entire panel of females and women, and our Donald Trump being questioned about the issues and whatnot. It's just to create a good image of the candidate and to basically sell the women and to get their votes. Let's not forget, it's a sales pitch, right? But yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
groceries. And also, don't you remember when you became a mother, how expensive child care costs is? And I know a voter asked
much
a question.
more now.
That's true. All right, listen to this. This was a voter in the audience asking.
Of course, they're gonna bring the bad economy and how expensive everything is, because that is the biggest challenge that the Democrats is gonna face. the simple question, does weed smoking, woke culture and spiritual culture solve the financial problems? Will it bring down the price of a carton of eggs? That's really what it comes down to. Woke culture, hippie culture, I love you, you love me, we are all together, we are all one, spirituality, everything, all of that is good. But does it bring down the price of a carton of eggs? Or does it bring down the prices of your grocery? Will it reduce the money you're paying to Walmart? So I guess for the average person, it boils down to that, right? I mean, people are struggling. They're working multiple jobs to make ends meet. I don't know. Economy is not good. It's not good right now. Not just America, everywhere.
Asking about childcare.
What kind of realistic changes that do you think you can provide single parents, married parents, any kind of parent to just simply afford children in today's world with the way things are?
I gave you the largest tax cuts in the history of our country, okay? Larger than the Reagan cuts, larger. I understand exactly what you're saying. We're going to readjust things so that it's fair to everybody, because it's really not fair to everybody.
Yeah, that is a big concern, Harris, because if we have a tax cut, more money in our bank account, we can save for college, we can pay for our groceries, and we can pay for that child care. What was the biggest concern you heard yesterday?
Oh, it's the economy. I mean, and what you didn't see from that you'll see at 11 a.m. on the Faulkner Focus, it took her a minute to gather herself, Ainsley. Like, there were a couple of women who were brought to deep emotion about their struggle right now and putting a great face on it. Look, they're going to their jobs, they're doing all the things, they're doing life right, they're paying their taxes, they're doing everything they need to do, and the struggle is mightily. And the president and I went back and forth a bit about what real pricing and reduction of pricing has to look like. It was a conversation. The women and the former president did most of the talking. Like, I wanted the country to see their questions. I don't know if we have time for, I believe we have another question here that people can get a taste of. Do we have time?
Yeah, we can do it. We have time. Let's watch it.
My son is a Georgia Bulldog. He was on campus the day Laken Riley was murdered. How quickly, in a sanctuary city like they're calling Athens, Georgia, how quickly can you remove those threats to our society?
We can do things in terms of moving people out. We can move them out of the sanctuary cities. We're going to end all sanctuary cities in the United States, and we're going to go back to normalcy, and we're going to have law and order.
Harris, such a great college, UGA. A lot of our friends go there, and when you drop your kid off for college, you worry about their safety, and then to find out it's a sanctuary city and to learn Laken Riley's story was just horrible.
100%.
And you did it in Georgia, so that was a big concern for all those moms.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in the state, so this is the first place that my own parents began dreaming about what my life might be like as a newborn. So I really understand the women. And look, not everybody is a mom, but everybody is part of the rising and the raising of America. And so we're all invested. If one person is not able to have the dream, if the Lord has put that in their lives to raise their children because of decisions that are made that don't have to be made that way, then that affects everybody. What the president was talking about, though, about taking people out of sanctuary cities, he wants, if you are illegal, you got to go. If you've committed a crime and you've been here, you got to go faster. If you're already breaking the law by coming in illegally and then you commit further crime, you're first on the list. And he thinks that once you do that, you can sort of break this trend of sanctuary cities expecting so much more than everybody else gets.
Law and order situation in America, it's a complete mess right now. It's even worse in Canada. I mean, I was there. I mean, I saw everything that is happening in Canada. As far as law and order situation is considered, I mean, just look at the videos of Los Angeles, look at the videos of Vancouver. It's a mess. homeless drug addicts everywhere on the streets. I saw them with my own eyes, at least in Canada. Homeless shelters everywhere, in parks where children are supposed to play. I saw, like, how should I say this, like, so many homeless camps filled with people shooting drugs in their veins. It's not a very happy sight. I mean, it doesn't lift my spirits when I have my coffee first thing in the morning and go out and see this. I don't know.
Because of their status, to be a stopping point. He said there can be no stopping points for illegals. I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I love women. We all love women. Our voices matter, and we're voters too. So I just am so excited to watch this.
We're the biggest group.
That's true.
Out of everybody, we're the most registered and active voters in America.
Yes. All right.
Go,
we're going to be
girl.
watching 11 a.m. You go, girl. Proud of you. We'll be watching.
I'm proud of you. Thank you, Ainsley.
Man, Donald Trump, he always looks like such a creepo. Look at this picture, man. I mean, Donald Trump for women, right? Oh my God, it doesn't look.
We're the most registered and active.
I don't know, man. It just does whatever. I just make a joke here, but look at this picture, though.
Voters in America.
It's so hard for women to vote for Trump. It's more challenging for women to like, it's easier for women to vote for a strong female possible president, right? And America wants also that dream to be actualized of having their first female president, which might happen this time, and they might push it to make it happen. And because, come on, are the elections really a fair game? I mean, you gotta trust your government. You gotta trust your American government to know if the elections are rigged or it's a fair game. I don't know. I mean, it's impossible. It's all it's all just blank, like all just skepticism. If I say the elections are rigged, it's my skepticism without any backing of data. I don't have substantial data to prove or to convince you that the elections are rigged. I can only convince you what I am convinced of myself. I don't know. Elections are rigged, not rigged. I don't know. Honestly, God, I don't know. And I don't think it's possible to know because I'm just another person living on this planet, just an average person. I think you gotta be in the company. You gotta be an employee, a high-profile employee who are making those machines to really know if the elections are rigged or not rigged. I mean, yeah. So, anyways, that was the whole video, and as far as my opinion goes, like. I think Donald Trump is good for leadership as far as leadership goes. I think it's really good to have a woman president and all, but it's not fun and games, right? I mean, we're talking about the next leader who's going to lead America, and the leader of America has a lot of responsibility. Not only to America, they have a lot of responsibility towards the rest of the world. I mean, look at what is happening all over the world. If you have a female president, I mean, the world we live in, nobody, men will not take women seriously, right? So all the male dictators all around the world, they're just gonna ignore whatever a female president or a very feminine and very, very sweet ice cream eating president, they're gonna just ignore their whatever, right? And I think it's good to have someone like Donald Trump as a figurehead, which is like as a figurehead, a strong kind of like a strong, very like I will like people should not. It's not good to have a president of America who the rest of the world is not afraid of. You should be, to some extent, be intimidated by the president of America. Look at Barack Obama, a strong man. People fear and are intimidated by a strong male presence. That's what the natural capability of a strong man is. And I'm just afraid to say that a person like Kamala Harris, a motherly figure like Kamala Harris, nobody's gonna care about her. People are just gonna stamp her and walk right over. People are just gonna walk right over her like they did with Biden. I don't think it's yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not gonna wear a red hat and say like "Make America great again." I think Trump is a very selfish person. But what are you gonna do, man? I mean, it's just how the world is, right? So as far as this is just my opinion.